Okay, so we have another LG refrigerator with the bed compressor. This one was a little tricky. When I got here it was still cooling. Usually when they're like totally not cooling, what I do, I hook up my gauges when it's unplugged and I check how much pressure is in there. Right now I'm pulling a vacuum, but usually when I see about 50 pounds, that I know there's plenty of freon in the system. The compressor is running, the fan is running. You can feel the compressor hot or warm and buzzing. And I know it's spinning, but it's not pumping freon. This one, it was a little different. It was basically around zero pressure, which is perfect where you're supposed to be on the low side. And it was barely cooling, about 40s, freezer and refrigerator. So that got me a little startled. I was like, okay, it's kind of weird. I don't know what to do if it's low on freon or what's the point is. What I noticed, I think it will help you. Basically I started taking it apart and cutting the old compressor out. I still decided to replace compressor, but what I did notice, there was a bunch of oil here in this pan. This water was kind of oily. You can see it's usually a little sludge, but it's usually water and dust. Here it was oil, so I didn't think too much about it. I was like, it's kind of weird structure. But when I started taking it apart, I started installing the high pressure line, and it was I started bending it in place to stick it in the compressor, and I felt it was very weak and eventually broke off. So there was basically a leak. The oil was leaking into the pan, and because the line was corroded, and that's why the pressure was low. I was thinking maybe it's the restriction, partial restriction. So what I did, I unplugged the fridge, I ran it again. Of course it was at 0 psi, it was somewhat cooling. I unplugged it and the pressure was slowly climbing back up to about 30 pounds. I was like, okay, so it's a little low on freon, which in normal scenario, if it would be a sealed system, it would be in the vacuum about 10 or 20 pounds when it's low, but it was around zero. So it was a combination of a leak, low on freon. Compressor was possibly good, but I have warranty company approved for a new compressor already, so I started going with that. And in the process, I noticed there was the condenser line was broken, so I ended up getting a new condenser, also coming back, and this thing is 4 times heavier than the new one. I think it's partially because it's out of metal, but also probably a bunch of crud in there, and this is the line where it broke off. So I'm just thanking God that yeah, this thing broke when I was working on it. Otherwise I would have installed it. Maybe could not have been able to pull a good vacuum. So yeah, there was a little bit different scenario. Usually I like to see them about 50 pounds pressure, and then I know it's a good candidate for compressor. And it says it needs a software update, so I put a new software on there. Basically, new software is pretty easy to install. It comes in the jig like this. If you look it up, it's just punch in a software update jig for LG compressor, and there's only one out there, and installation is very straightforward. You just keep pressing one button until it goes through the whole setup, and you can look up a video on that. But I'm here in the vacuum. All the valves are holding up. Put a new dryer filter, put a condenser for the first time. Never had to do that before. It's probably I did like 30-40 compressors at this point, and most of them was success. I had a couple where I had to come back and resolder some welds, but my soldering getting better. I'm getting confident on charging them. purging with nitrogen, all of that. It's coming along pretty good. I'm happy that I took on this new trade, which I was very hesitant because first I was like, yeah, it takes me 6 hours to put a compressor. I can probably do 2 or 3 easy jobs. It doesn't involve sniffing fumes or freon, and I make same money. But this I can do in about 2-3 hours now, the whole thing, and the warranty jobs pay well. A lot of times I do go through LG directly. If it's under 10-year warranty, I help the customer to submit the claim, and they give me a new compressor, and then the customer only has to pay for labor. And in that way, it's worth repairing the thing, and it does give quite a bit of a lifetime with the new compressor, new software. It should last longer as long as you pull a good vacuum, you solder everything well. I'm thinking I'm gonna just toss in a new condenser with every single one of them. It's about $100, and I can charge a couple more hours of labor for the warranty company. And yeah, I think there'll be many more to come. I think LG still has problems with their R600 units. Already acquired the tools to do R600, which I was really scared about in the past because of the flammability. But as long as you purge it well with nitrogen, and I don't unsolder compressors anymore, I just cut it out, and a new compressor, I pop it in and solder it after the purging. It's very safe to do. You do need to acquire a license for R600, but I think it's, yeah, be many more compressors to be replaced. So thanks for watching the video, guys. If you have any questions, post. I'm sure you're trying to do this yourself like me. Hope it helps. Yep. All right.